to India. The third on point is on India's concern about China's mega dam project. And let's take a quick look at the headlines. All three accused in Noida dowry murder case arrested. Victims' father-in-law, mother-in-law and brother-in-law remanded to 14-day custody. Home Minister Amit Shah, confident of 130th Constitutional Amendment Bill being passed, slams opposition for doublespeak on the issue. SC hears petition accusing comedians of mocking person with disabilities. Court questions, where will you draw the line? Fitch Ratings affirm India's sovereign credit rating at BBB with stable outlook, underlining robust economic growth. In a shocking murder, Karnataka man kills girlfriend by forcing gelatin stick into her mouth and detonating it. Prime Minister Modi holds talks with the Fijian counterpart Sitiveni Rabuka, trade ties and enhancing bilateral cooperation on the agenda. Ahead of official retirement of MiG-21 fighter planes, Chief of the Air Staff, Air Chief Marshal A.P. Singh takes a sortie in aircraft. Jammu and Kashmir bans pen drives in government offices to strengthen cyber security at Civil Secretariat and Deputy Commissioner's offices. Netanyahu says that Israel could withdraw from Lebanon if Hezbollah is disarmed. Sending out a strong warning to its adversaries, India has successfully tested an indigenous integrated air defense system that shot down 3 targets at different altitudes and ranges off the coast of Odisha. This marks another step towards developing a homegrown nationwide security shield from multi-domain security attacks under Mission Sudarshan Chakra. The development comes days after Prime Minister Modi set a 2035 deadline for developing an indigenous air defense shield integrated with offensive weapons. Now let us understand the technology behind the integrated air defense system successfully tested by DRDO. The IADWS is a multi-layered air defense system which includes 3 components: quick reaction surface-to-air missiles, the advanced very short-range air defense systems, and a high-power laser-based directed energy weapon. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh has lauded the indigenous air defense system. He said the unique flight test has established the multi-layered air defense capability of our country and is going to strengthen air defense for important facilities against enemy aerial threats. The few countries that have mastered this technology to disable missiles, drones and smaller projectiles include United States of America, Russia, China, United Kingdom, Germany and Israel. The integrated operation of all these weapons system components is controlled by centralized command center developed by DRDO.
सुदर्शन चक्रधारी मोहन यानी हमारे द्वारकाधीश श्री कृष्ण और दूसरे चरखाधारी मोहन यानी साबरमती के संत पूज्य बापू। भारत आज इन दोनों के दिखाए रास्ते पर चलकर के निरंतर सशक्त होता जा रहा है। सुदर्शन चक्रधारी मोहन ने हमें सिखाया है कि देश की, समाज की रक्षा कैसे करते हैं। उन्होंने सुदर्शन चक्र को न्याय और सुरक्षा का कवच बनाया, जो दुश्मन को पाताल में भी खोज कर सजा देता है। और यही भाव आज भारत के फैसलों में भी देश अनुभव कर रहा है।
So Prime Minister again talking about Sudarshan Chakra today. Akashteer, a homegrown air defense control and reporting system, emerged as the centerpiece of India's air defense grid during Operation Sindoor. Akashteer punctured multiple waves of Pakistani aerial attacks by guaranteeing prompt detection and targeting of the incoming threats. So the big questions are, can such system defend the territory against supersonic and hypersonic weapons? Will manufacturing all components of Sudarshan Chakra be a challenge? Are these systems cost effective? Israel's Iron Dome system is effective but very costly. Can Prime Minister Modi's stress on Make in India engines for fighter jets make the nation less reliant on superpowers like US and Russia? How is Sudarshan Chakra different from Akashteer? And is it possible to cover entire India? On this issue, I am joined by Mr. Selvamurthy, Dr. Selvamurthy, President, MED Science, Technology and Innovation Foundation, former DG DRDO, Group Captain, retired BNJAS, Senior Scientist, Aerospace and former Joint Director DRDO, and Air Marshal VPS Chana, Defense and Strategy Expert. Thank you all of you for joining me. Let me straight away go to Selvamurthy. Sir, is there a difference between Sudarshan Chakra and Akashteer? Your comments, sir.
Karthik, thank you for having me at this discussion on a very important development recently. The Sudarshan Chakra, the maiden test carried out on 23rd, just 2 days ago. And this is a very important step towards the integrated multi-layered air defense systems. Because this, for a country which is becoming Viksit Bharat, which is the vision given by Honorable Prime Minister, has to be Atmanirbhar, as you rightly said, that you need to make these all security systems indigenously. So this Sudarshan Chakra is also going to be an indigenous effort. And the Akashteer, these are very much related to each other. I'll tell you what it is. The first thing is, in air defense, first thing you need is the sensing. You need to have the awareness about all the aerial bodies which are moving around in space at different layers. It could be a missile, it's a long-range missile, or a supersonic cruise missile, or it could be an unmanned aerial vehicle, it could be a drone, it could be a helicopter. So you need a large number of the aerial bodies floating around, which could be the threat to our the air defense. So you need to defend this. First, you have to sense and get an awareness which are the bodies floating at which levels, what speed they are moving, what is the target towards which they are targeted to. So these are to be sensed. So you have the radars developed indigenously by the DRDO, the LRDE, as well as sometimes you have to use the jamming, so DLRL. So having sensed this and also use the electro-optic devices. So these are the sensors which will give the awareness about the air threats. Then you need to look at what levels, if it is going to be at 30 kilometers range or even above. When it comes there, then how do you attack it? Which is the right weapon to go and neutralize this? So you need to have a command control system at the station which receives the sensors inputs. It takes a decision depending on the target, its velocity, its altitude, the range. So the right kind of missiles takes off and then goes and neutralizes that. Similarly, if it happens at the levels above, close to about 30 kilometer altitude and the range, then you need to have a missile going very fast. So quick reaction surface to air missile, QRSAM, which is one of the very important complicated technology, because as the name indicates, we have the surface to air missile, but you need quick reaction surface to air missile. This is one important technology demonstrated in this. The second part is you also need to have the directed energy weapons. If it happens at the lower altitude, the high power lasers, which have been demonstrated recently, the capability by CHESS, which is the Center for High Energy Systems and Sciences, which is at Hyderabad. Then you have the missiles, which is developed by the DRDO and also the research center Imarat, which developed the subsystems and also very important the air defense which is required. So you need to interject and neutralize it at various levels. So that is what is Sudarshan Chakra, and the maiden test has been done, and the name has been given beautifully. The Sudarshan Chakra.
Oh yes, absolutely.
The Prime Minister was mentioning. It
Absolutely.
has a very deep implications, because so it has a 360-degree surveillance. It keeps rotating. So Chakra.
I'll come back to that. I'll come back to this, Mr. Sarvamurthy. Mr. Jha, my question to you is, what are the challenges for such a system when it comes to supersonic and hypersonic weapons that countries like Russia and America are actually making, sir?
Yeah. Immense challenges, Karthik, in a short.
Mr. Sarvamurthy, this is a question for Mr. Jha. I'll come back to you. Mr. Jha.
Immense challenge. Look, we have been seeing the warfare between Russia and Ukraine, and mostly it is the drone-based. These days, aerial vehicles, mostly aircraft, are used very least frequently by even Russia. And the challenges are so immense that there is a rapid development in the technology. Hour basis, forget about the day and weeks. Hourly basis, there is a change or evolution in the technology being used there in this thing. So what has been tested today by DRDO or the integrated system, I'm happy, very happy that it has been done, but not satisfied, because these are the challenges which will evolve in the coming days. Yes, we have met the threat from Pakistan side, but suppose if Pakistan has upgraded their aerial vehicles, maybe drone or maybe something else, right from the 5 kg lifting capacity drone to 100 kgs lifting capacity drones. The challenges are immense. You must have seen the visuals of the new drones, the patterns of Irani drone which is being now developed by Russia. It's immense, it's huge, it's just about, say, 1/4 of an aircraft, but it has got the huge capacity of carrying explosive. So that threat could be even more. And if that particular aerial vehicle, airframe, is being made of a system of a material which can evade the radar signal, radar echo, then even it will be more lethal. So today there is a need that if we have to test these systems, D4 system of DRDO has worked very well in the trial stage. We could have even pushed to the Akashteer, in which there is a detection, there is a deter, and there is a destroy. We detect through the radar, as Dr. Sarvamurthy has mentioned. We can make a soft kill by jamming those small aerial vehicles. And in case if that evades even that soft kill, then there's a hard kill by the laser, very strong laser, DRDO, what you call it. So that capability is there, but it is not sufficient. Today, while I'm prompting you the evolving technology, the same system what we have tested today, those small vehicles you can't kill by MR SAM, QR SAM. Those are meant for the big aerial threat. Big aircraft, massive aircraft, coming missiles.
I think that's a very strong point you have made, Air Marshal Rana. Yes, we are not only looking at the ballistic missiles, we are not only looking at the short-range missiles, we are looking at the swarm drone technology. Do you think that Sudarshan Chakra can take care of that swarm drone technology, a slice of which, I am saying a slice of which we witnessed during Operation Sindoor, where you had 300 drones, overcrowding our radars, Do you see that as a possible challenge? That's number one, sir. And the second thing, the cost effectiveness. Even Israeli ran out of their missiles. And if it wouldn't have been for the Americans, Israel would have been in big trouble.
Thanks, Karthikeyan. First of all, let me put this in right perspective. What we tried today is not Sudarshan Chakra, not Mission Sudarshan Chakra. Mission Sudarshan Chakra is way beyond our comprehension at this moment. It is much bigger, and it comprises everything that we talk about: threats from ballistic missiles, threats from hypersonics vehicles, threats from stealth aircraft, threat from smart swarm drones. And mind you, it is not going to be 300 what we saw. and rightly you said it's just a slice of it. We are talking about thousands and tens of thousands of smart drones attacking us. And similarly, we are talking about stealth aircraft in hundreds. Those are our threat. So when Prime Minister talks about Mission Sudarshan Chakra to be completed by 2035, that by itself tells you what is the kind of complication and complexity Mission Sudarshan Chakra has. So now coming back to this is a big, big leap. This is one step towards achieving Mission Sudarshan Chakra. Akashteer is also similarly one small steps towards Mission Sudarshan Chakra. When we talk about Mission Sudarshan Chakra, what is envisioned by Prime Minister is primarily talking about multi-spectral threat in a multi-layered domain. That means a long-range missiles which can take on from 400 to 500 kilometers away, fighters aircraft equipped with air-to-air missiles of 150 to 200 kilometers range and can take on enemy way beyond. Then MRSAM, then this thing, and then inner layer is what we have done yesterday, is integrated air defense weapon system, is the closed-in weapon system. Once you come closer to around 30 kilometers of a same here, we already had all this. We had this in terms of like base air defense concepts earlier. Now similar, that concept is being replaced by IADWS. But when we talk about Mission Sudarshan Chakra, then we should talk about IACCS. IACCS is the brain, Integrated Air Command and Control System, which controls all these layers. Okay, and the advanced version of IACCS is, and then integration of all these weapon systems would probably give you this thing. That would be equipped with AI for the identification.
Okay.
Then it is so many other systems. So we should mistake Akashteer is one component, a small component. IACCS is a much bigger picture, and all these are the smaller components which will make the entire picture, including S400 and the Project Kusha, which is also in the offing.
Okay. Dr. Sarvamurthy, what about this cyber purity? You see, ultimately these systems have to be built in a way that are firewalled by the, Chinese, the Americans and the Russians, indigenized components not susceptible to cyber war by the foreign powers. Will that be a challenge for a Sudarshan Chakra?
See, the cyber security is also part of the Sudarshan Chakra. If you really see the holistic picture which Air Marshal Rana was mentioning, the whole thing includes, because it's net-centric operations, the whole thing will be net-centric operations. So you need to have your cyber security plays a very important role even in this air defense operations, and including AI. So it's a challenge, but then we have the computer strength both in hardware and software and cyber security. We have a good strength developed indigenously, both in hardware based and software based, and also network centric cyber security. And also we are looking at cryptology, we are looking at the quantum keys development for this communication and secure communications. So the already efforts are on both from DRDO, and also we have launched through the TDF, IDEX projects with academia who have this capability, and also industries. We have brought in industries. So now it is just not only being done by DRDO alone. We have networked a large group of national capability both in industries and also in academia. So I think it is possible when we say 2035 and the comprehensive, the Sudarshan Chakra will be operational. So all this capability, including the cyber security, will be there. So I am very confident that the technologies, we already have it. How do you network them together and then augment its capability, deploy this, and for our operational requirements. So even for when the tanks move, you need the air cover for this. So you need that kind of air defense as well. So we have even interceptor missile capability developed at exo-atmospheric, endo-atmospheric. So when you look at security, it encompasses the whole thing. As he rightly mentioned, now we are talking about 30 kilometers, but we are talking about exo-atmospheric, endo-atmospheric interception of the long-range missiles. That also forms a part. So when you say the whole country needs to be covered, it's a huge challenge for us. So that is why another 10 years is minimum requirement to put them in the operational conditions, as rightly said by. So this is the first maiden test what we have carried out. The DRDO, I must compliment because it's a major leap in terms of technology demonstration and capability, the display which they have done 2 days ago. But these are the ones which will build the confidence for Atmanirbhar Bharat in this air defense, which we are building up in a very, very aspirational, ambitious way. And I'm confident with the capability available today in DRDO,
Oh, yes.
which I know for 40 years, and now with all the industries and academia, we will be.
Very quickly, thank you, Dr. Selvamurthy. Very quickly, Mr. Jha, what remains the biggest challenge in constructing an apparatus like Sudarshan Chakra, as per you?
Well, Sudarshan Chakra, the concept will vary with understanding. It has to be laid down very specifically what exactly we need under Sudarshan Chakra. And secondly, the detection capability has to be augmented many folds. See, right now we are detecting most of the aircraft. There are the 5th generation aircraft which evade radar. So we have to develop radar which can even pick up those stealth aircraft, and there are technology, I believe, which is evolving right now. So we have to look at all this. We have to even evolve the technology for detection, which can detect the swarm of small drones. Even that is very difficult right now, but it is possible. So there is a lot for the R&D to do, and then you don't have to focus only the air. Say the threat can even come underwater and surface out of the water just before our border, and then get into it. So all those possibilities are there. Give a thought. Keep the minds, those minds which can look at the possibilities of various threats. Those threats have to be generated, and then start killing them. Killing has to be many layered. It has to be mechanical, it has to be explosive, it has to be radar, it has to be DW, it has to be, every fold that you can think of. And above all, some of the drones today are chip based, which doesn't require anything. You have just given the coordinates for it to make a kill, and it will come and make the kill. If it is flying low, you will not be even able to detect that. So you possible in the minds.
You made a very strong point. You made a very important point, Mr. Marshal Rana. This reminds me of the attack which the Ukrainians conducted in Siberia. They had actually parked their drones next to a very heavily fortified military, or I would say an aircraft station, Air Force station. And the drones just got up from the truck like that. They flew to the radars and destroyed them, and including the aircraft. So the detection system had no chance. The drones were at such a proximity that they ended up destroying the detection system itself. The missile system, which was supposed to prevent such an attack on them, they were able to evade it through proximity. They just got up 20 meters, 30 meters, 10 meters above the ground, and they destroyed it. So, when with such an evolving tech structure and unique tactics, the challenges are immense.
Absolutely. See, this is precisely what I think Prime Minister also alluded, that every single important asset we need to cover. And when we talk about that, and we talk about a country like ours, it's a humongous task. Like what Dr. Selvamurthy also said, yes. We need to have everything possible in our kitty to come out. First of all, to have a very, very clear-cut system requirements specified, that what exactly we want, what is the architecture we are looking at, what are the kind of weapon systems we are looking at what scale, and what all integration. Okay, so we already have a basic framework available with us. We have the basic technical know-how. We have the tactical knowledge as well, that how enemy is going to give. You talked about cyber security. Intelligence is going to be another important element of it. What you talked about, the example that you gave of Siberia was primarily an intelligence failure.
Absolutely.
So that intelligence also need to be inbuilt into your AD structure. So all your capabilities in terms of range, in terms of altitude, in terms of capabilities, in terms of kill probabilities, detection, identification, and interception at each level, at each range. So that is the kind of architecture we are looking at, and a command and control system where all this can be integrated. IACS, like I said earlier, is already in place. It has already proved itself beyond doubt as far as in Op Sindoor was concerned. All these weapon systems, including Akashteer, is one part of the IACS.
Absolutely.
Okay, similarly, this will become. So
Absolutely.
we need that kind of clear-cut architecture and define it well.
Oh, absolutely. But I think
achievable.
I think it's an ambitious project. It's a good beginning, and I think it's very, very important that we think on the line that India definitely requires a system like Iron Dome. You know, the challenges are hard. We are not Israel. It's a densely populated country. It's a huge country, but we do need to have our installations firmly protected, because ultimately the entire eye of our adversaries is on our economic strength. And our economic strength is defined by our manufacturing, industry and trade centers, and they also require protection. And that is why Sudarshan Chakra is so important, not only from the context of civilian population, but from the asset this country has built over a period of time. So this was on point one. The second on point is on Ukraine's President Zelensky's visit to India and whether India can play a larger role stopping the Russia-Ukraine war. But after a short break.
You glow different when you're in love. 16 million shades of love to choose from. Unlimited Love. B6. Mahindra Electric Origin SUVs.
Ukrainian ambassador to India, Alexander Polishuk, has indicated that an India visit for President Volodymyr Zelensky is in works. Speaking to reporters, Ukraine's envoy to India said that the date is being decided for the same.
We are very much grateful that India, from the first day of the Russian invasion, clearly actually indicated the position of India. And if you remember, just recently, Prime Minister said very openly that India not neutral. India supports the peace and dialogue and discussion,